I mean, I'm okay with getting the shards at the... Ooh. You have my attention. You have my attention. Not only is it just flat out better physical and piercing damage, it's got a 10% chance to critical hit. Better just raw fire damage, but that takes it to 11, just a little bit over 11 points of damage per second with the burn. The alchemist Osa Dinbold had these made for his fieldwork, for harvesting awkwardly placed specimens and discouraging hungry predators. Okay, that one is amazing. Okay, yes. Very much like that. I was just complaining about not having gotten an upgrade in a while, but here we are. And look at them, chat. Those are gorgeous. Actually gorgeous. A little bit too little too late, I'm afraid. Nice jackrams though, but nowhere near good enough. That way just jumps down. Soft scrabble powder. I think this is the route. Indeed it is. Yeah, look at how they... I'll turn off the shield for a moment. And I'll turn off the venom. Those things look amazing. Yeah, the lighting there is much better. Kind of goes with the rest of the look that we've got going on right now. And before anyone asks, why don't I just fast travel out? We cannot fast travel unless we're in the overworld. Inside the cave is no. We'll just run to Canneroc. There's no reason to fast travel here. Gives me more of an opportunity to gather. Not that there was anything to gather on the way, as it turns out. All right then. Hello.
For your part in saving me, you have my thanks. And you're welcome to Gossamer End.
I love the name of that place.
Billis Ade, the town blacksmith, will make repairs if you need them. For his treachery, I have banished Garana from this town. The widow take him. Enjoy your new home, but do so quickly. If the widow is out there, we must send someone to Castle Yolvan to find out why.
Okay. Alright, tell us everything again.
The spiders make their home in these trees, corrupting what should be a sunny place into a twisted, winding... But Webwood wasn't more than a nuisance until now.
Yeah, so you are literally saying the same thing.
I don't know what it could be. Could be a monster, a spider, or just a tail. There's no telling yet what we're dealing with.
Fair.
The fair folk work a powerful magic over this forest. I've seen a lot in my years, but nothing quite like they're capable of.
Your accent changed. I swear your accent changed while you were talking that time.
We have neither heard nor seen anything from the Fey stronghold in a long time. It was the Fey of that castle that tamed Webwood initially. We must discover how. It used to be a place for easy money when the Fey pacified the wood.
Okay. What's the news from Castle Yolvan?
Information. Castle Yolvan was a Fey bastion long ago. They used some form of the magic to pacify Webwood. Perhaps they can tell us how to calm Webwood.
Okay.
We need something to stop these damn spiders. Long ago, the Fey of that castle tamed them and all of Webwood. If there's any clue as to what they did, Or maybe about the widow we could use it.
Alright. Noted, but we now have a house, chat. A very own house. Let us go inside and find out about our home. With an awesome name. Can we just take for a moment, appreciate our house is named Gossamer's End. What a wonderful name. Got a stash all my own. I can put things in there. Let's have a look at those Silk Farms gloves. I actually never looked at them. I should have looked at them. +5 experience bonus. What? I am a fool. A fool. Alright, we'll keep those. And the mercenary cap. Place those in there. There we go. But now we've got a stash, we can relieve ourselves of all of these difficult to remove items from our inventory, which may or may not cause problems. We didn't seem to gain anything from the alchemy book, but I wonder, is there anywhere I can put that? I've got a mirror for customizing my appearance. Can I do my hair in a different style than was available to me to begin with? I don't think I can. I'm fairly certain that wasn't there. Are there others? That is quite cool. But I think we're going to stick with what we've got for now. We've got different beard options. Don't think so, sadly. I am a big fan of games where they, as much as it might not be for everyone's, to everyone's liking, I do appreciate games where in-game you have more customization options. It's kind of a reward, in a way. Right, well, let's go and talk with our friendo, the blacksmith. And we can listen to this awesome music while we do it. Hello.
Garner or Barton? I don't know which one would have led us out of this alive. Of those of us that are still around. All I know is I need to close up the windows, check the cellar, and pray the spiders don't find the cracks in the shingling.
Right, let's talk about Barton.
The man's a fighter, sure, but he's not been in Canneroc too long. He doesn't know us that well, and we don't know him either.
Fair.
I'd be happy to fix up old Gossamer End for you. That place could use some expansion. I can put in a dining area for some gold. What do you say?
Do it.
It will be ready in no time. Let me know if you want any further expansion.
Yes.
Well, it sure would be useful to have an alchemy workbench. I can add a room with one for some gold.
Do it.
The alchemy workbench should come in handy in these neck of the woods. The main floor has been expanded as much as possible, but I can squeeze in an attic for some gold.
Yes, please.
You'll be amazed when you see that attic. Well, I'll have to watch out for the riverbed, but I can add on a basement for some gold.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and set up the basement with some plants and reagents. You'll love it.
I will.
If you're interested in more storage space, I can expand your basement for some gold. Be careful when you go in there. Somehow a spider got in when I was doing the last upgrade.
What?
I can do one last expansion of the basement. Give you more space for the plants down there for some gold.
At this point, I was just waiting for him to say, for something that is not gold. Basically, I don't know what it would have been. But the fact that it expressly said for some gold with all the others, I was just waiting for the last one to be like, for a ruby. And it's like, oh.
This will be the last upgrade I can give you. I hope you like everything I've done.
I'm sure I will. Also, please repair all my stuff.
Keep safe.
Thank you. Do you have anything to say about Barton?
The widow? This town will be a pile of skulls and belt buckles from the spider's gullet. Would Gardener and Barton be better at leading a pile of refuse? I've seen those beasts.
Skulls
they
and
ripped
belt
my
buckles.
husband to shreds in front of me. Will Billis be next? What's to become of us?
That honestly sounds like a cool name for something.
She's as old as Webwood and twice as menacing. She's the devils of this forest incarnate. That's what she is. I heard tales of war and demons, stranger, but none as chilling as the widow's. And now she's coming for us.
Okay, what about Barton?
He'll have us carrying wooden swords and marching to our deaths. He doesn't care about this town. You can see it in his face. Beware the forest.
I mean, I kind of do think he cares about the town. I get the impression that he wants the town to survive because he wants to live here. And he'd like it to be peaceful because that's what he was hoping for. But you know what? Maybe it isn't as straightforward as all that. Well, let's go and see our new and improved house. Town? Honestly, all the barrels that we've destroyed have probably been the reason why we've been able to afford to expand this so much. Right, so we've got our own alchemical lab. That was a very nice expansion. Yes, I like it. We've got our very own dining area, complete with a minor regen potion. Thank you very much. It's very. Oh, look at these plush seats. Look at the upholstery. It's like dragon scales. I approve. Golden plates and some complimentary bottles of wine. Amazing. A complimentary statue. Wow. Okay, you know, this blacksmith really goes above and beyond, I'm going to be honest. Some complimentary weapons. They're all crap, but thank you very much for the thought anyway. A bookshelf. With books! A songbook. Let's have a read. The Widow and Halter Ninepins. By Stony Brook did Halter sit to fish himself a luncheon, when Widow walked with Spider guard and Halter bared his truncheon. I'm Halter Ninepins, so I'm called, he cried with shaky voice. Face me and die, or leave me be, he left her with a choice. The Widow smiled, the Spider stayed, she raised her hand to Halter. I seek a man to make me bride, her smile did not falter. Halter knew her legend well, but struggled to refuse. Fair was she, but still his heart he could not bear to lose. I think you'll find I'm not the man to take you to the altar. She smiled still. Make me your bride. Her smile did not falter. He thought with speed, the cunning lad, and came upon an answer. I'll wed you yet, he did begin, if you can best a dancer. The widow laughed with hungry eyes. Her grin was all the wider. We are agreed, the dancer is... Halt gestured to the Spider. He drew a flute and played a tune, and both began to dance, but 8 legs bear more grace than 2. The widow stood no chance. He reached the end, the widow left, pursuant to the deal, and Halt resumed his fishing rod, glad not to be the meal. That was actually quite cool. I enjoyed reading that. I'm gonna be honest. I enjoyed reading that. Oh, some complimentary tattered documents. And the Canneroc primer. Thank you. The Adventure, number 4. I enjoyed you reading it as well. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say, Fortuna Decay. The words of Solon Rimgar As chronicled by Parthalan, we can halt here for the evening and talk of strategy. Eventually, we will approach the Will-O-Wisps, where they are fey creatures, and the very sight of them can lead to our doom. It is said they will draw mortals into an unending labyrinth, and there they starve, forever following the blinking lights. They will surely lead us astray, as is most likely their very purpose, placed here to distract us from our goal. So I say we meet this challenge with our wits rather than our brawn. Blindfold yourself and tie a rope so as not to be separated. I will walk amongst you, fastened to this rope, and Atten and Hercold, you will keep me from the lure of the Will-O-Wisps. May Mitharu grant that I am able to keep my wits about and guide us past. If you feel me pull wantonly upon the rope, know that I am ensorcelled by their magics. Keep to the path as best you can, and we will prevail. Wise was he, certainly. Some complimentary crates! And a bed. I'll use the bed. Oh, actually I won't. I don't want to lose any time. But I could now cycle between day and night if I wanted. A thistle. A black cohosh. A scarwood tree. Another black cohosh. Some more complimentary crates. Some more scarwood. I see no spider. I guess it's just because there's a bunch of webbing in there. And we get our very own sagecraft. How many gems do we have? We're starting to get a collection of them, but there's really nothing I want to build with them yet. Okay, I like it. Fantastic place. Big approve. Okay, our very own home. Now, what I would like to do... I don't think you've got anything for me now, but let's go and sell off some gubbins. Oh, actually, no, we do need to go to the forge, because we picked up a couple of things that I can break down. I could make a lot more money if I was just selling this. But honestly, having a wealth of things to use for crafting is more useful to me in the immediate and the long term.
This town will be a pile of skulls and belt buckles from the spider's gullet. Would Gardener and Barton be better at leading a pile of refuse?
You've said this before.
Those...
Oh, there we go. 12k from that, not bad.
They ripped my husband to shreds in front of me. Will Billis be next? What's to become of us? Beware the forest.
Nicodemos says definitely worth saving sagecraft shards for future combining, or at least second tier stuff. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Right, our next goals then. Locate the former contract holder. That is more in Haxie. We can go over to Castle Yolvan. Make our way down to Ettenmere. There is still a spot for us to check out over here, and that is Cathrus. We haven't been there yet, but let's focus on the quest. We want to be heading in this here direction. You know what? Maybe it is just that the crates will always respawn when you go in and out of a place. That's probably why we don't find much gold. Because if we can so easily force them to respawn, then that is completely broken. Pop, pop. Don't mind me, don't mind me, don't mind me, don't mind me. Ah, god damn it. I was not fast enough. Oh, come on, you're not... That's not fair that you can knock me out of there. Rude. Okay. Now, onwards up to the castle. Oh. Huh. Well, did we really expect it to end any other way? So much for the very important man. I've still got my reckoning mode available to me. Find another entrance. Yeah, we already knew that was going to be the case. Right then, this is a one-way trip, so let's get ready for it. Wahoo! What the shit? I don't quite see how I ended up in here, if I'm perfectly honest. Don't even see a hole in the ceiling. What?
This is Yolvan, proud and mighty, shaped and hewn by Fae of old. If you hear us, then we are sleeping still. But be strong of heart, new one. Our powers are old, but our triumphs are eternal. We have brought peace to the webwood and the forests of summer.
Like, how did I even end up in this room is my question. There's no hole in the ceiling or anything like that. I do like the overgrown windows, though. And the briar-like thorny stems growing all over the castle, too. Right. What is our quest right now? Just got to find the remaining lordstones, investigate the castle, find another entrance. Okay. Just got to learn what's going on.
Corruption and decay and filth were grown, were spread like sickness from the fens and dells of this place. They were led not by a beast, not by a fell one, but by her, the one who walks alone, the mother of 100,000 spiders. She is a queen of web and poison. She calls herself the Widow.
Speaking of one-way trips, would you care to hear a rather considerable warning about the Dead Kel DLC? Not really a spoiler, just saves a ton of frustration. I will probably not remember it by the time we get to it, but by all means, maybe someone in chat will remember. She calls herself Sheelab. Hey, old lady Sheelab. Wow, what a time to jump in. That was the equivalent of photo bombing. Sheelab summoned. Okay, now this looks amazing, though. Actually gorgeous. We'll go this way. Hello, Spectre. I do like that the traps, even without the the guide, they are obvious. They are physical things in the world. It's one of the things I enjoy about Bethesda games, if I'm perfectly honest, is that if you are just observant, you'll notice that there are traps nearby. Where on earth is that plant over here, though? Apparently a plant there. Oh, it's possibly upstairs. Okay, the beginning of it is a one-way trip with a long time before you're able to return and get access to your storage again. So don't start it until your inventory is emptied. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Nicodemus. Thank you very much. Is it kind of like the Teeth of Naros area where once you go into the Teeth of Naros, you're kind of stuck there until you resolve the Teeth of Naros quest line. Okay, that one is probably not going to do it, so we're going to have to push it a little bit further. Okay, you can see me. It's just a rat, though, so it's not really the worst thing. I would love if I'd have the option to get close enough to engage them, but I don't. Realistically. Well, the best I can do is get up close enough to take one out. Get a little bit of extra experience from taking down the one that I'm able to sneak attack, but other than that. Yeah, if it's similar to Teeth of Naros, then I get what you're talking about. Ooh. Knight's Necklace. Oh, that's quite a lot of health. I'd say no to it. Improved Bloodseeker's Shaft. Combine this item with a core component to craft a new weapon and armor. 15% chance to steal 10 health per hit. Okay, nice. Rusaril. This is it's a ward, so it's not really a shield. Well, it's kind of like the shields you'd get in Skyrim, I guess. The mage shields, that is. So it's you're basically casting a ward in front of yourself. I could equip it, but unlocks a lot more damage. It's a bit less armor. But right now, my buckler is what's giving me my health regen, so I'm going to say no to this. It is nice because it's got a lot more durability on it. I'm not using my shield anyway, though. Generally speaking, my defense is to kill the enemy before they have a chance to hit me. Other than that, I just dodge. Smash statue. Never played the Teeth of Naros, but sounds similar. Yeah, you aren't stuck the whole time, though. I really enjoyed Dead Cal. Had a lot of new dynamics and some superb rewards. And romance. There's romance in Dead Cal. There's definitely not romance in Teeth of Naros, but when you understand the population... okay, look, all right? I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to shame you for it. There are going to be a lot of people who wish there was romance in the Teeth of Naros questline. Probably the same people who bought Resident Evil 4 entirely for Lady Demiscrew. And that's okay. All right? There is nothing wrong with that. But I'm just going to say that while Death by Snooze sounds good, pulverized hip bones probably don't feel good, no matter how they came to happen. Okay? Now, as far as... There's nothing wrong with that, he says and laughs. Oh, don't tell Shen what I just said. They raided a few moments too late. Haha! I am super wholesome. Well, welcome on in, Raiders. Hello. We are currently exploring a spider-filled cavern. For those of you, so I'm gonna do you a solid. For those of you who have an aversion to spiders, the spiders in this do look like spiders. They look like horrible spiders. You know, it's very cartoony, but they are spider-coded, and we are in a spider castle. So, if you came along with the raid, thank you so much for dropping by. If spiders are not your jam, though, totally understand. No hard feelings, but now would be where you'd want to get off. Yeah, guess I'm heading out. Yeah, no worries at all, Red Rover Cat. You take care. Have a good one. Is this the Yolvan quest? Yes, this is the Yolvan quest. Spider coated in spiders? I don't think there are any spiders covered in spiders, but I mean, they're coded spiders, yes. Yeah, too long didn't read. Yeah, content warning, arachnophobia. I do believe this game has an arachnophobia mode, but I'm going to be honest, I like spiders. I'm going to be honest, okay? I like spiders. Spiders are friends. But I totally understand those who cannot abide with them. No shame. Wow, I failed to get all those letters in the right order. It's fine. In an odd way, dyslexia is kind of a superpower in that you can totally fail to write something right, and I'll probably be able to read it correctly. In fact, it might be easier for me to read when you don't write it correctly. It's the only time that dyslexia comes in handy. Hey, Grobzilla, how you doing, buddy? But can we please get a nice big hearty shout out for Shen? I apologize. I can't quite see if that already happened. It's already scrolled off the screen. Oh, thank you very much, Demi. You're last playing Ixion. I've had the opportunity to drop in on some of the Ixion gameplay. It's wonderful to see that game being played. It's honestly a marvelous one. I can't do the other one because it's on cooldown. Understood. You did do it before. Thank you very much. Demi, it already scrolled off my screen. And unfortunately, Kingdom of Amalur, even the re-reckoning, the remaster, is that kind of old school game where if I click off this, like it's got borderless full screen, or borderless windowed rather. But if I click off it, it's like, oh, you're no longer focusing on me. Okay, I'm gonna go quiet now, which is kind of annoying. Can I read upside down? I can read back to front too. Yeah. Yep, it's true. I would like to say that I'm above average in back to front reading. They left most of the endearing jank in the game. Yeah, a little bit. And they added a couple of things that weren't quite as endearing. So they've added some fresh jank. But overall, really, really enjoying it. And welcome on in, Reeds, once again. Now that we've got the warning for the spiders out of the way, because again, you know, we are literally in Spider Castle. So if you just got you drop podded in here, that might be a bit of a shock. But now that that's out of the way, welcome. If you're unfamiliar with Kingdom of Amalur, it is an extremely how best to put it? This kind of wears its age very clearly on its sleeve. The visuals, the aesthetic are very much like 2010s, very much 2010s. The game itself is the Re-Reckoning. The original is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. The Re-Reckoning, honestly, this game has a really storied kind of development history that includes all kinds of things. The original game was meant to be an MMO, so as a consequence, this game feels a lot like a single-player MMO. It's got a lot of MMO DNA in it, but in my opinion, it's got the good bits of the MMO DNA. Of course, you know, some people might be like, oh, actually, no, I hate grind, I hate this, you know, that sort of stuff. And it does have a little bit of grind to it. But it's in the sort of way where you would enjoy just going back out into an area and taking a quest and then going back out to do another quest in the same area, looting things, you know, fighting. The combat is actually really engaging. I like it anyway. Yeah, the game has had a history, especially dev mode. The development kind of bankrupted the studio that were making it. Somewhere along the lines, I don't know, whether publisher pressure or what, they decided to retool it into a single player RPG instead of an MMO. It still has some of the MMO DNA in there, but that wasn't enough to save the game. It has got frankly ridiculous amounts of lore and world building in it. It's got great music. It's got pretty fun voice acting. I think Rhode Island picked up the IP from the bankrupted company, and then they also struggled with it. It's an interesting one. It's definitely worth going down a wiki rabbit hole to learn about the history of this game. But the end result is the game was remastered as the Re-Reckoning. It is smartened it up, tightened it in many ways, made it much more functional on modern machines. And like I said, added a couple of new bits of jank in there. Namely, some of the weapon movesets aren't quite as great as one might have remembered them being, specifically looking at daggers. But this is a game with lots to love about it, and an awful lot to say about it, so much so that I am always at risk of, when trying to give a concise, like, this is what the game is, waffling on for ages. So we'll end it there, but I hope for those of you who are looking at this for the first time, if you do end up staying around for a couple of minutes, I hope you enjoy. And it's very much one of these kind of gem games where I want more people to see what I love about it, and to help it get a little bit more publicity, I guess. It is definitely in the kind of the hall of hidden gems, as far as I'm concerned, of gaming.
The canopy stretched far and blocked the light of summer, but we pressed on and forward to Cathris, to the widow's den.
Cathris is where the widow is.
But she was weaker still, her children having died before our march. To Ashara we commended her, and then we felt the call of winter, and so some turned to sleep, and I kept watch.
Okay, so Cathris is probably where we're headed then. There's a lot going on in there. Looks like it's mostly rats though. All right, let's see. That's not going to work. Nope. We want it to be a little bit further. Oh, maybe not. Maybe this way then? Yes. Soren says, they left most of the engineering junk in the game. I couldn't play it when it first released. They first released the remaster. I had a glitch where chests had no tops. Couldn't loot any of them. Oh, I encountered the same problem when it first released. But generally they were okay. There was one particular, and it was the Selkie Vale quest. The quest loot, the necessary item to progress the quest, was in a chest without a top on it. So I kind of hard locked at that point. So I put it down at that stage. But recently picked it back up, and they've fixed a lot of the problems that were there from the remake. And at this point, having a whale of a time. But someone also says, as I told Shen, the original was a childhood favorite. I can well understand, yeah. Grubster says, I learned to read upside down when sharing the funny pages from the LA Times with my friend. Okay. Much of the writing and story was provided by R.A. Salvatore, the creator of Drizzt. The game went rather unheard of because it released within a few months of Skyrim, which is why nobody played it. Yeah. A fate that many people are now bemoaning with regards to Silksong. Though obviously Skyrim had quite a lot of lead PR. But yes, it released in the shadow of Skyrim. Must be something in the air. I picked it up again a couple of weeks ago. Much better now. Yeah, very much so. As far as my character, we are doing a sorcery finesse build. My main weapon is the chakram, and my backup weapon is the daggers. Unfortunately, the daggers charge attack is still somewhat busted. Oh, you saw me, but you... Okay, yeah. Wow! Hello. The daggers charge attack is still quite wrecked. It's very inconsistent damage, unfortunately. I suspect it's got something to do with the game not checking for collisions fast enough. Maybe something has changed under the hood on the way that the game does timings. I'm not sure. But that was a problem back when the re-release first came out. It works perfectly well in the original, but there are lots of things about the original which, honestly, the remaster has greatly improved. One of them, probably the most commonly cited one, is that areas are no longer level capped. That was a very, very like MMO kind of DNA aspect of the game. You're going to be an issue, aren't you? Yes, you are. Keep yourself to yourself, plant. But the areas are no longer level locked. What happened before is the first time you entered an area, even if you just took one foot in there and then walked back out, that area would be level locked to the level you were when you entered it. And then if you can't, like, you just were wandering around and accidentally into the next zone, and you're like, oh, I'm going to come back here later, and I'm just exploring. But you were like level 5 or something, and you came back at level 15. Well, everything is in that zone is now level locked to level 5. The loot drops, the monsters. It was kind of frustrating, and so there were all kinds of strategies with how to explore the game and where to go first, and in what order. That has been removed, and I think the game has significantly benefited from that choice. Hello. I'm not going to use my reckoning on giant rats. That is going to be saved up. We're going to be going to Carthage soon, though. It is a part of me that's like, well, if I keep saving my reckoning, I'm never going to use it, and I'm never going to get that big, chunky experience bonus.
Some colder wind of winter blows then, we have seen. Summer does not return our brothers, our clans to us. What will happen to the vigil I keep? Winter already calls me, and no relief is in sight.
As for my character, yeah, it's a bit of a like I said, a finesse sorcery build. Right now my destiny is the Arcanist, so finesse sorcery focus with that. But I'm not against switching things up. There are lots of different ways you can build your characters. The destinies are kind of cards you unlock based on the levels that you got. I've never even tried to do a balanced build. But they can be quite powerful. But if I'm honest, the reason why chakrams are my primary is simply because daggers are still a bit too broken. Otherwise, I would likely be a finesse main, like just all the way finesse. Maybe a little bit of sorcery in there or might in there, depending. Because some of the might abilities are quite fun. Honestly, even some of the early ones are super useful, like the grappling.
The widow walks.
Harpoon.
I can feel the heart of the webwood pulsing with her anger. Her spiders are at the gates. We never thought this day would come. The widow walks. The widow walks.
Okay, well, we've, at this point, I think, found out what happened to Castle Yolvan. Despite the warning that I gave, that, hey, we're in the spider castle, we've only really found giant rats. But I'm constantly ready for it to be... Oh. Can it be opened with keys or lockpicks? Have I missed something in here then? Oh, don't tell me. Really? Was there just something down there that I needed to go and see? That is going to be excessively annoying. But I suppose so. I probably missed... Oh, did I miss one? Have a look. No, I got them all. Alright. You have to go back to the entrance when it does this. Right, okay. Oh, if that's the intended route and it isn't just that I missed something. Oh, it's a jank thing. Oh, okay. Do Do we just go through? Because we didn't go this way before.
Is that someone tripping about my web? And I thought my fun was over.
No, okay. You know what? It looks... Oh, right. Now I need to go... Oh, goodness. I should have come in here first. All right. Apparently, the intended route was to pop my face in down here first. Anything out here? I'll wander back to the top to see what happens. Because it did point me in that direction towards the end. The widow has come out to play, yeah, evidently so. Sorry for the long running, everyone. I really do love the look of this area, though. For some reason, I really like the windows in particular. Couldn't she bring any cleaning spiders? This place is filthy. I'm not sure that's a high priority on your list of things to do. I'm surprised she lets rats inhabit the place. Here we go. Is you right? Flame disc. Ooh. That might make for a nice chakram. Very boss fight coded. So I'm going to ignore the boss and I'm going to loot all the chests before I get to you. As is my way. Alright, so that's a lot of dead people in here. Well, there's zero chance that I can sneak up on you. Cloudy poison shard. Got some chests over there as well. No, those won't be better for me. Right. Let's have a chat then, you and I.
Another stirs in Yolvan? But it is only a wretched mortal from that doomed town, no doubt. I'm sure my Cathris brood would love feeding on one as strong as you. The last of Yolvan is dead. Your little town is next. Tell them the widow has returned, and she is claiming what was once hers.
Ah! God damn it. Rude! Alright. I can't level up because I'm in a fight. Fair enough. Well, first and foremost... Don't do any bleeding attacks, honestly. I just want the Venom Guard. Yeah, I do not need too much in here, but it was a little bit worrying that there were so many spiders. If they had been able to stun lock me, I think I would have been in trouble. The Venom Guard, I think, was worth the initial precaution. Alright. But yeah, I think it was kind of intended for me to walk towards the giant doors, and it's weird that they never assumed that I wouldn't, though. Like, poor level design in a way to put a necessary trigger to that. Right. We want to take Dispelling all the way up to 4, like I said. Then we can start looking at other things. I want Persuasion and Dispelling up just for a couple of dialogue options that will be available to us. There are others as well, but those are the ones that I really want. Maybe push Detected and up then all the way to Advanced. I'm not committed to that idea though. I wouldn't mind getting Stealth up. But we'll take Dispelling all the way to 4 at least. Alright. Now then, Sorcery. We can get you to 20. Boom. Now we can put 1 point. Chain Lightning, which increases this that we never use, so no point. Ice Barrage. You know, it's alright, I suppose. Mark of Flame, not as useful, I don't think. Summon a Feargorter is useful, though. Use magic to rapidly construct a Feargorter who will fight by your side. Summon lasts for 120 seconds. Could be useful in a pinch. But do I have the mana to be able to sustain it, is the question. Possibly. Sure, let's get you. At the next level, it'll have more health and better damage, but the cost will increase. Okay, let's commit. Stay on Arcanist. As for my abilities, let's map you. It's already where it needs to be. Right, can I summon you? Yes, I can. I need basically all my mana to do it, though, but I can, in fact. Okay. We've got a pet. What really sucks is the skill trainers can only train in their bracket. Which... oh, okay. Let's get food is up and running. Noted. Ow. Go ahead. I want to see how well you can fight. It seems that the spider only wants me, though. Only 28 damage, respectable. Ouch. But, yeah, there's a, the trainers are still bracketed, so, like, they'll only train you up to a certain level of skill, and then there's no more training. So you still have to use the Fate Weaver to redistribute your skills so that you're below the level where they will train you, and then take that 1 point of training and then put them back. It's kind of an annoyance, but it's not the worst. Oh, we're gonna have to fight our way through a bunch of enemies on our way down. I wonder, you know what? I think it would have been funny if I just allowed the, like, I just snuck past all of the rats, for example, instead of taking them out. Would have been hilarious to then show up to all of the rats fighting the spiders. I wonder if that's even a thing. Kind of cool if it were, though. I'm hoping that there's going to be some sort of boss brood at some point to make it worth me using my reckoning on that. The basic chakrams are now starting to get quite nice. Rip. The shadow prisms temporarily stun. They might do, you know. Yeah. There. Is this older Path of Exile? I mean, it is way older than Path of Exile, yeah. And Path of Exile might have drawn some inspiration from it, but I wouldn't be able to talk to where Path of Exile drew its inspiration from. That's definitely not worth it for me. Okay. This should be fun. Though I don't know how many giant spiders there are. But we'll use reckoning mode on this area. Because I've been saving it for too long. I hope that it's not just 2 giant spiders. It might be. Kind of sucks. So an entire reckoning mode just for 2 spiders. Alright. Oh, let's take you out. Fade top. Boots of Ice Shield. Better than what I've currently got, to be fair. Sure. Let's equip those. Those ones we're keeping. That one can go into junk, though. Yeah, you'll probably see a lot of systems in this that you'll recognize from other things, mostly because the games industry, much like art, honestly, everything inspires everything else. And this has been around since the early 2010s. Damn your ability to turn on a... Like, what's the phrase? Turn on a dime? Immediately makes a little bit less sense to me, but... Yep. Ouch. Also, that is my alarm saying it's time for a tea break. Good timing, actually. I've been needing to resist doing my old favorite strategy of maxing out blacksmithing to be overpowered. Oh, I mean, eventually we're going to be making our own stuff. I've pointed it out to people that this is one of those games where at top level, the things you can craft are better than anything the game will ever give you. You know, there's some utility to things that have like set bonuses, but generally speaking, a master blacksmith, master sagecrafter can make better gear orders of magnitude more powerful than the best things you will find, even as quest rewards. With the level caps removed, running through areas to get to the trainers for more skill points is viable now. Oh yeah, I know, absolutely. Right, let's get back to Canneroc and then we're going to go on a tea break. I'll be away for a couple of minutes, refreshing my brew, and I would recommend you do the same. Unless you are one of the smarties and you're sat there with a gigantic flask of drinks that is practically inexhaustible. Though I would still recommend getting up, stretching those legs. Maybe go and check in on your pets. Let them know that you haven't been swallowed up by... Oh. Was not expecting a bunch more spiders in town. Interesting. Okay, I was expecting to just come back here and it would be nice and easy, but apparently no. No. Let's take you out with my daggers. There's still one.
By By the seas,
Okay.
you sure took the long route to Castle Yolvan. Now tell me, have you found their secret? Can you stop the spiders?
Well, about that. Is there more news about the widow out here?
I don't know. I've fought in wars, I've fought in duels, in bars, but never against something I couldn't beat. Never against something like her.
Okay.
The widow is sending the whole damn forest at us. I'm going to stay and defend the townsfolk. I need you to go in there and try to stop this.
By in there, you mean to...
We can't
Her
defend the town
then.
at this rate, and we don't have the time to destroy the bridges leading to the Webwood. I doubt that would work in any case. I'm going to take the survivors and barricade the inn. We'll stand a better chance of survival if we do.
Okay. Okay. The widow,
I didn't
she's
want to
leading
think
them.
The stories were true, but I've seen her hand in this since it began. It's only a matter of hours before Canneroc is destroyed. But Cathrus is deep within the Webwood. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hollow is where she makes her home. I had hoped for an army to assist Canneroc. You're all I have. Don't know if it's fate or luck, but there's no time. The others and I will take refuge in the inn. I need to help the survivors.
bothering me for?
Still about the bothering. I'm literally the only thing standing between you and this town's utter destruction, and you're giving me lip. Wow. It's almost like you don't want me to save you. Aavak will remember this, and you're going to be sorry that he will, because Aavak remembers how this quest ends, or how it can end. Okay. Let's clear up all the chests because, you know, I'm doing my bit. Now that my house is here, it falls upon me to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. And I've got to clean up all of this dangerous litter lying around. Who keeps coming along and littering our fair streets with all of these unsightly crates and barrels, I ask you? My goodness. House prices plummeting. However, I will grab this. No, I won't. I suck at alchemy, and therefore I will be grabbing nothing, apparently. Okay. Let's pop into the inn so you've got some nice music to listen to while I'm on tea break. Alright. Let's turn off my glowy effect. Can I sit down? I cannot. Big sad. Right. Enjoy the tea break music. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Again, this is your chance to get up and have your own tea break, and I recommend you do. While I'm away, I will run some ads to disable pre-rolls for the next hour or so. Don't worry, I won't be back before the ads are over. So, again, this is your chance to get up and step away from the screen for a few minutes, and I will be back, I would say, within 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, but honestly, they shake their tails pretty bloody quickly.